Welcome everyone, this is Jazmunch here. We're going to be looking at Beyond All Reason and the Commander and kind of how you should use him and the different styles people might use him in the early game. Now, obviously at the beginning you're going to want to set up yourself for just a standard build, whatever your build order is normally. Just go ahead and do that. I usually like to go for 3 mexes and get a wind turbine in there in between those. That way I don't run too low on energy. If you don't know, if you run out of energy in the very start, your mexes will turn off, which will then cause it so that you lose metal, which is the most important thing in the game. Most important resource in the game. So after we get the up to 70 energy, I just built an extra one for funsies. We have 70 energy incoming, going straight into the bot factory here, and then we'll be building a couple construction bots. This is just my standard build order before we get into the uses of the commander. Now generally after you get your starting build done, you're gonna want to get a couple bots out to gather metal extractors. I'm not really doing this in any big order because this is just a real test here. And then you'll want to probably build just a little bit more wind right there. And this is the most average use of a commander, is keeping him at base and getting yourself off the ground quickly, right? Another thing that you'll be doing a lot of times is just spamming units and having your commander work on producing the units at the very beginning of the game. This is my default that I do, is just having my commander here either helping with building energy converters so that I don't waste my energy, or getting my army used or produced quicker so that I have more at the front lines. Now another use of good commander would be if you, let's say we didn't even build anything, no factory, no nothing. We just build like 1 or 2 mexes, and then sometimes people, depending on if there's like a couple metal extractors maybe here and here, and there's like a bunch of metal out here on the field that you really want to get to, some people will just have their commander go straight out for these mexes and build a forward base. Now, I am not as proficient at that playstyle, but I have seen it done several times and it can be very successful. So we'll just say, for instance, you want to build a vehicle facility out here and there's metal out here that you want to take control of. Then that's totally acceptable. That's another common way that the commander will be used. So we'll just let him build that. So regardless of which way you use your commander, you can either leave him at your base, wherever you choose your base, whether that be in the back line or in the front line. You can do either way. But regardless of what you do, you'll probably end up having him working on the same things, like building units back here or building wind turbines or whatever, whatever resource production you decide you need. Okay, so those are the main ways of using a commander in the early game. But it's just kind of where, the location that will change. Now another way that people will use the commander is to help engage and be a forward attack. Now the negative of this is if for some reason an enemy unit comes in to your base from the back, you do not have the strength of your commander, because the commander is one of the most aggressive defensive units you can have. He can instantly annihilate any bad guys with his D-gun right there. That's an example. It will kill anything that it touches, including your own units. See, instantly murdered it. No matter the strength, it could kill the strongest unit in the game, the weakest unit in the game. The only thing the commander D-gun cannot kill is another commander. Every D-gun, let's see, I believe, here we go, D-gun, it doesn't tell you how much it shoots, or how much the cost is, but the D-gun cost is 500 energy. You can see when I fire it, I can't just fire it non-stop. I have to wait till it gets to 500 and then we'll fire again. So just keep in mind D-guns do cost energy to use. So if you decide to push forward with your commander and help on the front lines, it can be extremely beneficial because any resources that you kill up here, you'll be able to suck into your army very rapidly. The commander has the highest build power out of any unit, with a build power of 300, which is extremely useful on the front line. You also have the benefit of a mobile radar. That's that outer green circle you see here, the mobile radar vision or range, which it can be pretty nice if for some reason you didn't get a chance to build a radar tower yet. So these are some benefits. Another benefit is the fact that when you're fighting, your units can take damage, either from themselves or from getting hit or whatever, and the commander can repair, and he can repair rapidly because he has the highest build power in the game. So he's going to be able to repair damage faster than anything else that would be at the front. Now, like I said, the risk factor is if someone comes to attack your base back here and your commander's at the front, there's no getting him there fast, okay? So you will have a bigger risk factor if someone does do a push at your base. Another risk would be just the fact that you can't pump units out quite as fast. You're going to have to you have a high potential of needing to build more construction vehicles to make up for the loss in build power here. Okay, so basically the times when I would likely bring my commander up is if I know I have a very solid frontline position. Okay, I know my frontline is good. I know that my team is guarding over here, so I don't have to worry about anything over here. They are protecting it. No worries about a flank. And also, on this side, no worries about a flank. If you have a high risk of flanking, this is a, maybe not as good of a position to keep your commander in. And that's me. That's kind of my conservative take on it. And obviously, as you play the game more, you might determine that you like to bring your commander forward every time and try to take some of that early metal or early energy advantage. So that's always an option. After you get to about the mid game though, you're gonna likely want to pull him back. Now the reason being is as the game progresses, the commander's effectiveness on the front line drops dramatically. I mean, if he gets pushed by a medium tank, he can easily just D-gun that puppy if he can hit it, right? D-gun it, instantly dead. So he's very, very strong. But the problem is, as the game progresses and you get into the tier 2 vehicles, tier 2 bots, and those types of things, just a couple shots from those can kill you. And another problem is their range could be longer, much further. A guy could snipe a commander being all the way out to here, and there's no chance of D-gunning with a commander because his range is so small. So I like to pull him back mid-game and just have him work on repairing the base, either making fusion reactors, etc. So something to keep in mind. Don't suicide your commander by having him become cannon fodder at the front line during mid game, because he's very easy to take down. And that's about about it. There's also cloaking, which we can talk about that, I guess. Cloaking takes, let me see, it's 100 energy standing still, which is a large amount, but usually you can handle that. But if you go to move him, it changes to 1,000 energy for moving. So the Commander Cloaked is a very strong unit, especially if you're fighting against T3 units. A lot of times there will be a break in the front line, and they'll come and try to blow up maybe a fusion reactor here, advanced fusion, or metal collector, or metal or energy converters. They'll try to get a hit on them with their T3, which will just demolish your whole base. Your whole base will explode. So having your commander back at base and available for that to defend with his D-gun is very important. But if you are planning to engage a T3, you have to be cloaked and be able to sustain that cloaking with the amount of energy that you have coming in. If you do not sustain that cloaking at all times, or even if you miss your D-gun and another guy is able to tag you, another T3, you could easily lose your commander and your base is going to be extremely vulnerable at that point, because the D-gun for the commander is the only thing that can really defend against a heavy push into your base in the late game. So those are the main uses for the commander. Make sure late game that you reserve enough energy to keep your commander available for a T3 push, and that he is able to defend against that. And early game, just either use him on the back line and help build the base or manufacture units, or you can also use him to come to the front line and repair vehicles, collect metal, and D-gun the enemy if you get lucky, and get some really awesome plays that way. So hopefully this video was helpful. I know it was very short and sweet to the point. If you got value out of it, definitely leave a like and consider subscribing to just have some more tips for Beyond All Reason, and we will see you in the next one.